Okay, I'm just gonna get this done and up. Use the phone as a camera here because I'm tired of just having just an anonymous, thing up there. Okay, Star Trek Prodigy, new show. It didn't suck. I'll give it that much right now. There are a few issues, but also I've heard a explanation or two for those issues too. So I'm willing to give it room to address those issues. Mainly, the big one is still Jankum Pog, and not just the fact that he's called a Tellarite. He does the Tellarite. Someone else calls him a Tellarite. And next episode, when Janeway Hologram calls him a Tellarite. There is an explanation. There is a possible explanation we might see because basically it's on Trek culture and their thing. Maybe the Alpha Quadrant species we're seeing are from the caretaker was yanking plenty of ships into the area before it got to Voyager. Voyager was the last one, but it wasn't the first. So possibly we're talking the kids of the crews of those ships that got yanked and left because there's some dispute over on Trek yards or whether or not their ships, if they weren't right, were sent back. No, it was a total ass. The ships just left to fend them from themselves. So okay, there are probably they may be some Tellarite ships going around, a Medusan ship. There could be for some cations here and there. So all right, that still doesn't account for the fact that he still looks like a chubby Talaxian. So they need to come up with something a little better than this because that accounts for why a Tellarite would be in the thing, but that doesn't account for the fact that he still looks like a chubby version of Neelix. Between the mohawk, the mutton and the things, the mutton chops and the spots on there, that is not Tellarite. That is Talaxian. And it's not like Neelix is a mutant. We saw a few Talaxians in that time. Okay, they all look like like Neelix, and this kid looks like Neelix. He doesn't look like Ambassador Gav or any of the Tellarites we met. If he's a Tellarite, they shaved him. Okay, he should have. The Tellarites are furry, lots and lots of hair everywhere. And this one, he's got a mohawk and some mutton chops, and again, spots, the notch in the nose. Just because it's broad face, that's not a pig's knot. So no, they've got some answering to do here. But I will give them the benefit of the doubt for now. Give them a chance to explain themselves. Okay, they did not scrimp on the CGI. This thing is gorgeous to look at. It's a slightly, let's say, take the Clone Wars level, and they've up it some. It's a higher grade of what we got, like the Clone. So it's gorgeous to look at. And they've definitely not skimped on the design and stuff. They're just ignoring the fact that designers gave them a Talaxian, they call them a Tellarite. So, and this will not go away, people. I will make sure this doesn't go. I'm not the only one complaining about it. I've seen in plenty of chats, a lot of people saying that's not a Tellarite, that's a Talaxian. So someone's whistling past the graveyard on this, so they think we're going to get away with it. The Prodigy and the Protostar is the name. This is the ship they find there. I don't know what Prodigy is supposed to refer to at this point. Are they all supposed to be prodigies or what? But who knows what the hell they're talking about? Which one is a prodigy? Is this scrappy kid who masterminded the escape of Prodigy, or the gal they got tied up in the command chair right now? Is she supposed to be the prodigy? Who the hell knows? Or someone looking through an old computer catalog and hey, there's a good name. That company went bankrupt years ago. Okay, we'll call it Prodigy. No one's gonna know the difference. We used to be on Prodigy way back when. Early 90s. Okay, that's how long it goes back. All right, but apparently the regular episodes will be about a half an hour, about 20 minutes or so. So this was a special premiere, so it was almost a full hour's worth of show there, 40-something minutes. But they're starting, you can start shaking down the details there of how old is this ship, how long has it been there, and supposedly Memory Alpha puts it at 2383. So we're talking a few years after Voyager gets back, right around the same time we give a few, give or take a few with Lower Decks. And for what it's worth, a few years before Picard. But I'm hopefully they just completely ignore Picard and just don't tie in there. Please do not tie in there. And certainly do not tie into Discovery. That'll be the death of the show right there. And so far, Kurtzman has been being hands off on the animated show. Apparently, he's like, well, animated doesn't count. No, animated counts. Okay. That's something Lower Decks is proving because they're tying into the animated show all the damn time. The fact that they got Acacian on there and they brought in Adosians and Kazinti and other things. A lot of stuff that you only saw on the animated show. So they're and the freighters and stuff, So, but between the design of the ship is like, nifty, but it's also a fairly small ship as far as starships go. You got a canopy on the bridge for going. It's not window whatever there's no view screen on that thing. Not a big one. It's like a cockpit canopy over the bridge. It's really noticeably smaller. It's a nifty. There's hints here of like some JJ type stuff, but some people are speculating that it was supposed to be tied very much into JJ, but then they managed to pull it out of the fire. And it's also when you got the hologram of Janeway. She is shown as she was first season of Voyager, bun of steel, red shoulder uniform. It's like this is not the same Janeway that showed up at back at Earth 7 years after 7 years in the Delta Quadrant. This is the one who, before she went out. And one guy said, "It was supposed to be a little decorated Captain of Starfleet." We don't know what she did before Voyager went, off into the Delta Quadrant. She still could have been the most decorated captain of the Starfleet. And probably a very short list, all things considered. So she could still be, one of those decorated. In fact, you would explain that better of why when she got back, she got right up to the Admiralty. Because like, well, one more thing for Catherine Janeway. Let's just get her out of the center seat before she do something stupid. I suppose the Chakotay round. Now maybe some amount of the time they did the hologram, and then the ship goes out, and it's like they didn't upgrade to make her knowledge at least a little more current. But I'm also if based on the hologram, and well, the registry is not terribly off whack from Voyager's herself. So I'm thinking well, Voyager is the Intrepid class is fairly new. It was also an established ship. There's more than one Voyager running around, more than one Intrepid class going around. There was an NCC registry, whereas this one is an NX registry. So it's a prototype. So I'm figuring this thing got set off or it went off kilter, whatever. It got out there a little bit, sometime shortly before Voyager got sent to the Delta Quadrant. That's what I'm thinking right now. And then again, I'm leaving it open. They may contradict themselves, and I'll jump on them for that. And I'm following them on Twitter, so they will hear from me directly if they mess this up. They already know that because I tried calling them, on the carpet we're out of the Telluride Talaxian thing. But again, so far doesn't suck. They're doing okay so far. Okay, and it's lavish as far as the designs go and the effects and everything. They are going over. I think the little overboard with the space scenes. Right? It's like space isn't that filled with nebulas. Okay, just give us a normal starfield once in a while. Okay, it doesn't have to all be airbrushed nonsense. So, I'm gonna give it, and so far I'll give it a fair shake so far and going in. And one of the writers apparently showed up in Trek Yard's live breakdown of this one, and he said, "It's been an honor." And I said, "Okay, I'm still waiting for an explanation of why a Tellurite bears an uncanny resemblance to a chubby Talaxian." And let them figure it out for a while. Let him take that to his boss and say, "Hey, I got counts on this thing in the chat." Oh crap, it's happening. So, I will only touch briefly on because I'm not going to clog this up with personal stuff now. I'm going to keep that separate, if at all. But let's just say the hammer has fallen as far as our presence here. But for it to finally fall and really will take about a month. It's going to take about a month, apparently, for them to finally haul us out of here. So hopefully in that time, we can put something together, pull a hat out of a rabbit, and work out something here. And we've got also in the meantime, frankly, the fact that they have made those means we can stop paying them for a while and get our own assets in gear. So, at least get our storage units out of hock for a while. And I can get enough money to get this stupid van out there fixed and do some DoorDash and get the money racked up. And also, hopefully, we've been playing these mobile games. I'm hoping one of them is going to be legit and pay off in the next couple of days. If that happens, I'm going to embarrass them. But okay, here's the past due, and here's for the next week and a half. How about that? Okay, still want to evict us? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that would not be good optics.
And if we really get out of this hole in decent fashion, and the county finally comes through with the rental assistance thing, then I'm going to have a nice little video to say about those who have helped us, those few who have stood by us, and those who have offered help but then turned around and refused it and had some snarky words in the meantime. Let's just say one of my friends pointed out something, he might have pulled it from somewhere, I forget where, but the phrase, I found rather enlightening. Someone might have to think a bit before you start preachifying. Words of encouragement to those who are truly in need are just words. You haven't solved the damn thing by telling them how they need to live their lives. So, and like I keep saying, let's put the fire out first. Then you can lecture somebody about leaving the iron on. That's all I'm going to say on that. So, link to PayPal down below. I'm not going to do the whole big long. I might cut and paste the regular list of links later. But for now, PayPal is the big one to help us directly. It's also the one I got that's not overdrawn at the moment, so I can access it immediately. So, in the meantime, we will talk at you later.